Scorpio, this is your divine confirmation. A major win is unfolding, unexpected financial blessings are already on their way, and someone is quietly watching, holding a secret admiration for you that's ready to surface. You didn't just stumble upon this video. You were guided here. That restless feeling inside your heart? It's not anxiety. It's alignment. It's the whisper of the Holy Spirit and the pull of the stars, joining forces to bring you to this exact moment. That's not coincidence. That's calling. Welcome to Miracle of the Sign, where we don't just interpret signs, we translate them into clarity, healing, and hope. Where astrology meets divine timing, and where faith meets your next breakthrough. Today's reading is not a forecast. It's a revelation. And it carries the kind of energy that will walk with you far beyond this screen into your home, your decisions, and your next level of abundance. Scorpio, your season of struggle is giving way to a season of restoration. A heavenly gift has been assigned to your name, and no force can intercept what has already been spoken over you in the spirit. Unexpected money, elevation, favor, and yes, a surprising emotional revelation are lining up for you. Whether you've been praying in silence or persevering behind the scenes, this moment has been written. This message is evidence that the breakthrough is already in motion. Pause and breathe that in. You've been strong for too long. Quiet for too long. But the silence hasn't gone unnoticed. The tears haven't been wasted. The seeds you've sown in stillness are about to sprout before everyone's eyes. But this isn't just about receiving, it's about remembering who you are. You are chosen. You are covered. You are seen. Comment below and declare, "I'm ready for my divine breakthrough." That statement isn't just a ritual. It's an energetic key. A spoken act of faith. It's a signal to heaven and a seal of agreement with your own destiny. Scorpio, this moment asks for your full presence. Stay with me, because over the next few minutes, we're going to uncover prophetic insight, energetic patterns, and soul-stirring truths that confirm everything you've been intuitively feeling. We're going to explore what the universe and the Lord have already orchestrated behind the veil. And yes, if your heart has been quietly waiting for a sign, this is it. But before we dive deeper, let me take a moment to offer the most sincere thank you for your presence. Every like, every comment, every share, and every subscription moves this message into more hearts and keeps this sacred space alive. If you've ever felt this channel speak directly to your spirit, then please know, you are not just an audience, you are part of this soul family. Your energy, your support, your engagement, it's all part of how we anchor the light together. And trust me, dear Scorpio, you will want to stay with me until the very last second of this reading. Because what the universe is about to reveal is nothing short of miraculous. Now tell me, is it about your journey, your pain, your resilience, that summoned you here today? Let's find out together. Scorpio, when we speak of a divine gift arriving, we are not merely referring to material gain or visible rewards. We are tapping into something deeper, something that often begins in the unseen realm long before it touches the physical world. You may have found yourself in moments where your voice felt too small, your prayers felt unanswered, or your dreams felt too distant to ever arrive. Perhaps you whispered your hopes into the dark, not even knowing if they were heard. But here's the truth: nothing you've ever spoken in faith, in vulnerability, or in sheer desperation has been lost. It has been gathered. It has been held. And now, it is being returned to you in a form you are finally ready to receive. There's a moment in every soul's journey when stillness becomes sacred. The silence you endured, the waiting room you were placed in, it wasn't a punishment, it was preparation. And now, that preparation is reaching fulfillment. The energy around you is shifting in ways that may feel subtle at first, like a gentle wind brushing against your shoulder, or a sudden idea that warms your chest. These are not coincidences. They are signs. Confirmation that a door is opening, not just to something new, but to something meant. A job, a person, an offer, a turn of fortune may arrive in a form you didn't expect, but its timing will be flawless. When I say, a gift from heaven, I don't just mean a wrapped blessing that drops into your lap. I mean the kind of gift that meets you exactly where you are financially, emotionally, spiritually, and reminds you that you are not forgotten. This is the part of the journey where faith is no longer theory, it becomes experience. You are about to experience what it means to be provided for, to be supported, to be seen by forces beyond what the eye can grasp. And that kind of blessing doesn't just change your circumstance, it changes your frequency. You begin to walk differently when you know you are chosen. You begin to speak with more intention when you realize your words are being heard. You begin to dream again when the answers you once longed for start appearing in front of you. And this is precisely what this season holds for you, Scorpio. You've sown in silence. You've carried hope like a fragile flame. And now, you are entering a moment of divine return. This is not about earning favor, it's about alignment. When your energy aligns with your readiness, when your heart opens just enough to trust, that is when the blessing rushes in. And it's not always loud. Sometimes it's a quiet email that changes everything. Sometimes it's a conversation that shifts your trajectory. Sometimes it's the courage to say yes to what you once feared. But make no mistake, the gift is on its way. And if you feel a stirring in your chest right now, a pulse, a memory, and a shiori, not imagining it, that's resonance. That's your intuition recognizing the truth long before logic can explain it. It's the vibration of answered prayer moving closer. We're reminded in sacred scripture that those who sow in tears will reap in joy. This is your season of reaping. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are right on time for the blessing that's been growing behind the veil, waiting for the day you were ready to receive it, not just with your hands, but with your heart. If this speaks to your spirit, take a moment to affirm it out loud or in the comments. Say, I receive this divine gift with grace. Let that sentence be your seed. Plant it. Water it with belief. And prepare to be amazed by what grows from it. Scorpio, when your heart is centered on something greater than yourself, when your motivation stretches beyond personal gain and into the territory of love, protection, and generational care, you activate a very different kind of energy. This isn't the energy of chasing. It's the energy of anchoring, of building, of becoming the solid ground others can stand on. And that's exactly what this season is asking of you, and what you are already stepping into with quiet strength. There's something sacred about the decisions you're making right now. You're not reacting impulsively, and you're not moving from fear. Instead, you're discerning. You're thinking ahead. You're planting seeds for a future that includes not just your own well-being, but the security and stability of the people you love most. That kind of loyalty carries energetic weight. It sends a signal into the universe that says, I'm ready to build something real. Something lasting. Something that can't be easily shaken. Perhaps you've been evaluating your work life or your financial path, asking bigger questions than just, how much can I earn? Maybe it's become, will this allow me to rest one day without worry? Or, can this support my children if they need me to be strong? Maybe you've thought about a career shift not for applause, but for alignment. Or you've quietly studied new investment strategies, not to impress, but to protect. These aren't selfish moves. They're soul-guided. Astrologically, Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, the planet of transformation, death, rebirth, and power. When Scorpio chooses to act from the higher vibration of Pluto's influence, the result is legacy. This isn't just about wealth. This is about energetic inheritance. It's about passing down more than material things. It's about leaving a blueprint of resilience, integrity, and deep purpose. And when you take aligned action with that in mind, you are no longer just living for the now, you are actively shaping the future. In energy healing, we talk about root chakra stability, our sense of safety, grounding, and our connection to home, family, and belonging. Everything you're focused on this month is a direct reflection of that root energy being activated in you. When your root is secure, your entire being can thrive. But for Scorpio, security doesn't always come from external sources, it's something you learn to create from within. And now, you're doing just that. Your loyalty to your values and your loved ones is not going unnoticed. In the vibrational field of cause and effect, consistency and integrity always results in long-term reward. You may not always see immediate results, and that's okay. You're not building for a moment. You're building for a lifetime. And those who do that from a place of love are always provided for, often in unexpected ways. There's a passage I often think about in these moments. A good person leaves an inheritance for their children's children. While this may not always mean financial wealth, it always points to legacy. To impact. To the ripple of your choices echoing far beyond your time. And Scorpio, that's exactly the space you're holding right now. If you've been feeling the pressure to make the right move, know this, your discernment is already guiding you. Trust your gut. Honor your intuition. And continue to move with the quiet conviction that everything you're building now will serve as a shelter for those you love. What you're doing matters. Even if it feels small. Even if no one claps. The universe sees. And the return will match the depth of your love. Let that truth steady you as you continue forward. You are not just surviving. You are establishing something sacred. Scorpio, the energy that surrounds you now is not passive, it is alive, pulsing, and moving fast. In astrology, Mars rules drive, determination, and that inner fire that pushes us out of hesitation and into movement. With Mars now directly influencing your chart, you are standing in a window of high activation, where decisive action holds the power to radically shift your timeline. This is not a moment for second-guessing. It's a moment for rising. And the universe is not asking you to be fearless, it's asking you to be faithful to your momentum. So often, we wait. We wait until we feel fully ready. Until the plan is flawless. Until the fears are quiet. But readiness is not a feeling, it's a choice. And waiting for the perfect conditions is one of the fastest ways to let opportunity slip away. Energy has timing, and the frequency you're standing in now won't linger forever. You've already received signs, nudges, and inner confirmations. You've already dreamt of the launch, the shift, the creation, the conversation. Now the universe is asking, will you trust what you felt and take the next step? There's a psychological truth that lines up beautifully with this astrology: action breeds clarity. Not the other way around. The longer you stay in the thinking phase, the more tangled the decision becomes. But once you begin, the path reshapes itself around your boldness. The way opens. And what once felt overwhelming begins to soften into flow. This is especially important for you, Scorpio, because as a fixed water sign, you have a deep well of inner strength, but you sometimes wrestle with internal pressure to get it right the first time. That perfectionism, while born from integrity, can become a trap if you don't watch it. Mars is here to loosen that grip and to remind you that action doesn't have to be dramatic to be effective. Sometimes the boldest move is simply sending the email, hitting publish, saying yes before you know how it'll all unfold. You are not being reckless when you act on your instincts. You're honoring your energetic alignment. Let's also be honest: what you're building, what you're stepping into, isn't just for show. You're not chasing attention. You're trying to create a shift in your life that brings freedom, purpose, and peace. That kind of transformation requires risk. But not blind risk, faith-filled risk. And that is the kind Mars calls for. It's not about sprinting without direction. It's about moving with clear intention, even in uncertainty. There's a quote from one of the most respected voices in personal development that says, "The cost of inaction is far greater than the cost of making a mistake." Let that sink in. What could you lose by staying still right now? How many opportunities pass us not because we weren't talented enough, but because we didn't respond when the door cracked open? What you feel stirring in your chest, Scorpio, is not pressure, it's potential. It's not anxiety, it's acceleration. The universe is offering you a green light. But it's still your choice whether you walk through or wait for another cycle. You get to decide how much of your own power you're ready to hold. If you've been waiting for a sign, this is it. And if this resonates, write it down. Speak it out loud. I am ready to take aligned action and receive what is meant for me. That declaration isn't just motivational, it's magnetic. It creates movement. And movement creates miracles. So go ahead, Scorpio. Move. The path is already shifting to meet you. Scorpio, what you often don't realize because of your natural intensity, your emotional privacy, your almost magnetic stillness, is how many people are quietly moved by your presence. Your energy, even when unspoken, speaks volumes. You walk into a room and alter its frequency, not by demanding attention, but by simply holding your truth. There is a kind of power in your stillness, a gravity that pulls people in. But because you tend to guard your emotions so carefully, you may not notice the way others orbit around your quiet brilliance. And yet, the truth is, someone has been watching. Someone has been admiring not just what you do, but who you are when you think no one is watching. This moment in your life isn't just about success or financial alignment. It's also about emotional recognition. A reflection. A mirror. An offering. And that offering may come in the form of a compliment, a handwritten note, an unexpected message of thanks, or even a proposal, romantic, professional, or creative from someone who has followed your journey from afar. This is not fantasy. This is resonance. Because when you begin to align with your higher self, when you show up consistently with integrity and grounded strength, you begin to stir things in people they didn't even know they were carrying. Sometimes, those people are too afraid to speak up right away. So their admiration lives in silence. In a bookmarked post. In an unsent message. In the way they bring up your name in rooms you haven't yet entered. And now, as your energy expands, that quiet affection is ready to surface. A bouquet is not always literal, it's an energetic gesture. A signal that says, I see you. I value you. I want to be near what you're becoming. Astrologically, this kind of emotional unveiling is often tied to Venus and Neptune aspects, when love and admiration become more expressive, even if still wrapped in mystery. The fact that this energy is unfolding during your financial and spiritual breakthrough is no coincidence. When we elevate in one area, it often creates permission for elevation in others. You are attracting not because you are performing, but because you are aligned. Your authenticity has become your calling card. Your consistency has become magnetic. There is also something incredibly healing about being seen not for your mask, not for your role but for your essence. And when that recognition comes from someone unexpected, someone who's been holding a quiet tenderness for you, it touches a place deeper than words. It affirms that you don't need to beg for love, prove your worth, or contort yourself to be wanted. You simply need to stand in your light, and the right eyes will find you. The right souls will gravitate to you. They already are. This is also a moment to receive, Scorpio. To open your palms and allow appreciation in without resistance. You are not being tested right now, you are being honored. So when the message comes, when the invitation lands, when the compliment feels bigger than words didn't deflect it, don't dismiss it. Let it in. Let it soften something inside you that's long been in armor. That's where the healing happens. Whether this person steps forward with a kind word, a collaboration, or a declaration of love, allow yourself to receive the energy behind it. Not because you need validation, but because you deserve to feel supported as much as you support others. In this cycle, you are not invisible. You are radiant. And what's more beautiful is that someone else has already noticed. Now, they just might be brave enough to let you know. Scorpio, following the energy of taking bold, aligned action, we now enter a more nuanced terrain, the space where recognition begins to find you in the most unexpected ways. Not all rewards come in the form of grand gestures or obvious wins. Sometimes, the deepest validations come quietly, wrapped in subtle interactions, kind words, or a gaze held just a little too long. This part of your journey reveals something tender, something essential. You have not been invisible. While you've been doing the deep work, showing up consistently, healing silently, someone has been watching, not to judge, but to admire. You may not be used to being seen in this way. Scorpio energy is naturally protective, emotionally intense, and inwardly focused. You often prefer to observe rather than be observed, to feel deeply but share selectively. Yet your very nature, your presence, your resilience, your ability to walk through storms with grace leaves an impression on others far more profound than you realize. And when Mars activates your chart with urgency and Pluto reminds you of your personal power, Venus steps in and gently opens the heart space. It is during these times that the energy of admiration and attraction builds, not because you demanded attention, but because you embodied truth. There's something incredibly healing about being appreciated, not just for what you produce or achieve, but for who you are. In energy work, this moment is the equivalent of the heart chakra expanding and opening to receive acknowledgement, love, and even collaboration in a way that feels organic, nourishing, and safe. Whether it comes through a message from someone who has followed your journey from afar, a spontaneous invitation to co-create, or a simple but deeply felt compliment, this is the universe using other people as mirrors to reflect your growth back to you. It's not vanity. It's resonance. When you are aligned with your path, when your actions and intentions match your inner truth, you begin to attract situations and souls that reflect that clarity. This is the law of attraction, not in theory, but in motion. And often, it begins with the smallest gesture: a flower, a thank you, a moment of kindness. But behind that gesture lies something even more potent, the vibration of connection. It is the energetic signature that says, "I see you. I value your light. I feel inspired by your presence." And that is a sacred exchange. In these moments, Scorpio, your task is not to question why someone sees you now or what they might want. Your task is to soften, to allow, to receive. You are not here to prove yourself endlessly or to build walls so high no one can reach you. You are here to experience the fullness of connection, the joy of being known, even in your quietest season. And yes, that means letting admiration in without suspicion, letting kindness touch you without guilt, and letting unexpected blessings bloom even if you feel unprepared to hold them. Remember, it's not always about where the recognition comes from. It's about what it awakens in you. A sense of worthiness. A reminder that your energy matters. A glimpse into how your silent strength has shaped more lives than you'll ever know. If someone offers you flowers, literally or metaphorically, accept them. If someone opens the door to a new connection, lean in with curiosity. This is not distraction. It's confirmation. Your light is reaching further than you thought. Let it come full circle. Let yourself be loved. Let yourself be seen. Scorpio, wherever you are right now, whether you're feeling completely certain of your next step or sitting in the quiet space between questions, you need to know this. Your journey is not unfolding in vain. The effort you've poured into healing, the late nights spent wondering if anyone sees your struggle, the faith you've held onto even in your most silent moments. None of it has been overlooked. You have never been alone. You have never gone unseen. There is a sacred momentum surrounding your path right now, and whether you feel it or not, it is building. Quietly, powerfully, divinely. This victory, the one that's beginning to stir in your spirit, is already yours. And it's not just a reward for what you've endured, it's a reflection of who you've become in the process. You are not who you were 6 months ago. Not even 3 months ago. You've grown, shifted, deepened. And now, the universe is responding in kind. The alignment, the opportunities, the recognition, theory not random. They are the echo of every brave step you've taken, even when no one was applauding. So let me ask you something. What would change if you stopped waiting for confirmation and started acting as if your success was inevitable? What doors would open if you allowed yourself to believe that this breakthrough is already in motion? And what could happen? What would happen if today, you made the conscious choice to say, "Yes, I receive this," with no resistance, no apology, no delay. You don't need to do it perfectly. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to say yes to your own unfolding. That's what this moment is asking of you, Scorpio. Not certainty. Not perfection. Just willingness. Trust. Openness. And a quiet, steady belief that you are being carried into something far greater than what you're leaving behind. As we close this sacred space together, I invite you to anchor your intention in the comments below. Declare it aloud, I receive this divine victory with deep gratitude. Let that statement mark a turning point in your energy. A moment of alignment. A seed of faith. If you feel seen, if something in this message touched you, don't let it pass without action. Comment your birthday or your angel number to affirm your connection to this message. Speak a blessing over someone else in the comments because the love you extend always finds its way back. And if this reading held meaning for you, please take a moment to like the video, subscribe to Miracle of the Sign, and turn on the bell so you never miss the next divine moment meant just for you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for trusting me with your energy. And thank you for choosing to believe in your own light because I promise you, Scorpio, this season belongs to you. Your victory is not just coming. It's already begun.